sent to Dr. Lyons the night of sorry breath. Dr. Lyons, my name is Gregory Pizzicani, and I'm a senior at the University of San Diego. I have loved my time spent at this university, and as I prepare for my final semester, I have already begun the process of nostalgic remembrance, the fond look back over all the good that has been done for me at the university. But I find myself now saddened and ashamed at the prospect of calling USD my alma mater. It came to my attention that the renowned theologian Beattie was uninvited for speaking at a conference on our campus, an event I was greatly looking forward to. I think Mrs. Beattie has some incredibly interesting and important views on homosexuality, views which are vital to bridging the rift of discrimination which is currently present in our country and our church. It is these self-same views which earned her not the praise and adulation but the scorn of my university. This is unacceptable. It is an academic and intellectual injustice that this has been allowed to transpire, especially since I, the intended recipient and audience member of such a conversation, was not consulted for my views on the matter, but instead spoken for in the phrase, her views which were not in keeping with the campus. Dr. Lyons is simply a fabrication and untruth. Not only are her views directly in keeping with student and faculty beliefs, the mission statement of this university in the heart of the Catholic Church, but I guarantee that if you had asked me, a member of your campus, what my opinion on the matter was, I would have been a more gracious host than you. We really and truly do not want to be spoken for, coddled, and partitioned off from dissenting opinions. Please do not forget that higher education for all is considered a dissenting opinion by some. Where would we be if we came to the whims of people who desire us to know less? I am here to learn. Please do not disrespect my station as a student by partaking of bigoted political plays. It is not becoming of the university I once held pride in.
My name is Charles Daly. I'm a senior as well. I have kind of a quiet voice, so move in if you can't hear me. President Lyons, I'll start by saying that I am sympathetic to the gay and lesbian students and faculty who have been alienated by the university's decision to blackball an advocate for their right to enjoy marriage as you and I are free to enjoy it, assuming you identify as heterosexual. But my primary concern is with the issue of academic freedom. This decision is a betrayal of the university's goals of diversity and inclusion and ensures that USD falls pitifully short of the most basic criteria for an intellectual environment. The university's mission statement describes a vision of creating ethical leaders for a complex and changing world. A noble vision indeed, but the Beattie decision is a denial of complexity and a shirking of ethics. Some persons within and beyond the university's administration might not take these values seriously, but I do, as a citizen and as a soon-to-be recipient of a USD degree, a degree which I am afraid is tainted by this action. If this is a matter of towing the church's line, then you are a coward and a champion of inequality and ignorance. If this is a matter of appeasing donors, which I suspect it is, then you are morally reprehensible, a fraud. You embarrass me, you embarrass the students you serve, you embarrass yourself. Very sincerely, Charles Daly.
That in lieu of donors having say over what we as members of this university, paying members to get an education, a higher education, that they can quench what views we hear. It is us that will be the donors in the future. And if we do not get an education that we feel best suits us, if we do not feel pride in our school, why should we donate to this school? It's President Lyons and the donors' job to give us that pride, to make us feel special when we're here, and to give us some sense of wanting to give back later. And I know, for one, that this disappoints me beyond reason, and I probably will not be donating to the school if behavior like this continues.
While I was there, I was told several times by faculty at the Digby Stewart among us who is not upset by what has happened. However, I urge you all to reconsider the people throughout history who have been in our very same shoes right now. Dr. Martin Luther King, Harvey Milk, these people have not stopped, no matter what. And so I urge you today, do not lose steam in this. Stand together, and I formally call for the resignation of Mary Lyons as president of this university. Can you dig it?
Hi, my name's Anna Move, and I'm a junior at this school. As a
Louder.
student who has one more year here, the implications of this frighten me even more than it probably does the seniors. Not only will I be able to say that I was unfortunately a senior after this event, I would unfortunately have to say that we have not yet invited her back. We've not rectified this great mistake. This isn't just a Catholic liberal arts problem. It also comes down to what innately we are. We're American students. We're an American institution. And we're supposed to respect other people's abilities so different thoughts than ours. And unfortunately, our school doesn't do that. Unfortunately, it chooses its Catholic identity over the fact that it's a liberal arts institution, which is supposed to harbor not necessarily progressive in the political sense, but supposed to harbor progress in institutionalized education. And you can't have education if you only have one thing being spoken. Education requires a dissenting and a mainstream. If you don't have both, you don't have education. If you go into an academic career who hopes to apply for prestigious scholarships, I am very concerned that having been associated with this school, whether I agree with its actions or not, just that sheer association will tarnish my reputation as a scholar and as a student.
Yeah, it will.
And unfortunately, the president doesn't have enough respect to come down here and talk with us. And I think that in itself is a comment on how little she values our education.
My name is Mauricio Lopez. This is my first year here. I'm a sophomore. I've always wanted to come here to this school when I was young because the school fulfilled a promise that it was a community of inclusion and diversity, and that everybody was welcome, regardless of religion, regardless of race, regardless of any background that you come from. And to hear about a situation like this happening, it just disconcerts me because this school is supposed to be welcoming to all, but seeing all you guys faces here, it shows me a message that we are an inclusive community, and that you do accept everybody. And I'm glad to be here, standing with you and among you. And let's hope that we can change the school's mind about this, and that we can get Dr. Beattie back and send a message that we are an inclusive and a diverse community. Thank you.
Beattie was invited here officially by the Francis G. Harp Center for Catholic Thought and Culture. Do we all want to hear from the director of the center himself, Dr. Gerard Manuel?
Speaking in a personal capacity, on behalf of Tina Beattie, I want to stand up for the official teaching of the Catholic Church. The Church teaches that you must follow your conscience in all circumstances, even when it's wrong. Tina Beattie signed a letter in the Times of London telling Catholics that they should follow their conscience and helping them to inform their conscience on deciding about what to do on the impending legislation concerning same-sex civil unions in the United Kingdom. She was standing up for church teaching.
There you go.
Tina Beattie's work and career has stood up for people oppressed and marginalised. She writes on human rights, on marginalisation, on oppression, on women's issues, on feminism.
USD should not be banning Tina Beattie, they should be giving her an honorary doctorate. On the inviolable human dignity of every single person, regardless of race, regardless of ethnicity, regardless of gender, and yes, official Catholic teaching, regardless of sexual orientation. I decided to move my books some 9,000 miles from Europe to USD because I came here and I saw wonderful people on the campus with energy and dynamism who cared passionately about social justice, whether they were Catholic or not, but they saw that was a good thing that the Catholic Church did. My good friend Professor Carlton Floyd was then running the Centre for Inclusion and Diversity, the Associate Provost for Inclusion and Diversity. I thought, what a great university, a Centre for Inclusion and Diversity. I met Carlton, I thought, I've got to come here. I met people in the Crotch School for Peace and Justice. I thought maybe they're serious about trying to walk the walk as well as talk the talk when it comes to being a Catholic school. I know now from the Tina Beattie incident and other incidents, sadly, under present leadership, that isn't the case. It's a been a challenging time for many people at USD. I know that. I was nearly brought to tears by an email from one of your parents, and I'm not going to embarrass you. And your parents said how sorry and ashamed they were of this action of USD. They said to me to take heart and to stand firm, and a lot of people would be supporting this in Tina Beattie. They said we do not pay our tuition fees to have our children prevented from being exposed to challenging and difficult people from all around the world, including RSCJ sisters from all around the world, Catholic schools, people who are not Catholic, for the support and solidarity you've shown. Solidarity is a fundamental teaching of the Catholic Church in social areas, because with it you can move mountains. It's never too late to say, hey, I might have got that one wrong. I might have been misinformed. It's a sign of maturity. It's never too late to say, I'm sorry. None of the official statements put out justify this on any grounds whatsoever. Tina Beattie was not guilty of the theft. Even if she was, she should still have been invited and protected under academic freedom. The implications of this for academic freedom for all academics and students in the future are chilling, because it gives purchase to the bigots and the intolerant people who put stuff on the web and think because they have money they can shut people up. A couple of years ago, this university had an event exploring inclusion and diversity with regard to LGBT students, faculty and staff. I was asked to be on the panel of that as the director of the Francis G. Harp Centre for Catholic Thought and Culture. And on that panel I said, the social teaching of the Church is consistent across centuries, indeed a couple of millennia. There are current disagreements in certain schools and methods of moral theology. Better to stick with what's consistent, the human dignity of all persons, regardless of their background, regardless of their orientation, regardless of their gender. Therefore, USD promotes inclusion and diversity because it's a Catholic school and not in spite of that. Somebody at the back, a colleague in our department, and some people have tried to dissociate themselves from these protests because they say, well, it's not really to do with us and we weren't really to blame for the decision. If one thing hurts us all, we're all responsible. But somebody at the back of that session put their hand up and said, so what about some of the donors of USD who have notoriously right-wing and bigoted views on these very issues? I said then, you know what? A university just has to stand up if it's going to walk the walk and say, thanks, but no thanks. We don't want your money. Yeah. staff have stood up and made me extremely proud that I did see this passion for justice when I came before accepting a job, and I wasn't wrong about what my eyes were telling me. There are people here who care about justice and care about freedom and care about the future. Thanks for what you're doing, thanks for your solidarity, and please, keep fighting the good fight. Hi, my name is Will Tressel. I'm a senior here at USD. I want to talk for a second as a student, but also as a Catholic. I'm a little bit disappointed in trends in Catholic thought and in Catholic, what's the word? Ignorance, I would say, in trying to keep people with dissenting opinions to come here. This reflects, I don't know, some laxity in the church, and I think that it would be good if we all remembered some words of Jesus when a scholar came up to him and asked him, out of these many commandments and the Catholic Church's many teachings, I know every faith, most faiths I know of have many teachings. Out of all the commandments, out of all the laws, what's the most important? And Jesus said to him, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. But he said also to love your neighbor as yourself. And this does not seem very loving to me, unfortunately. So I would ask that we all reflect upon that and reflect upon whatever faith tradition we come from, upon the traditions of love, of compassion, and understanding, to try to find a way out of this.
Alright, I just want to say this is my first semester here. I am a transfer student. And I was enticed and engaged and so excited for the social aspect of this Catholic university. I thought it was going to be amazing and I'm a little confused. I'm a little confused. How exactly are we change makers? How
There you
dare
go.
we call ourselves
Thank you.
change
Someone finally said it. Yeah. Change makers.
makers?